Here at FAU, just across the street from FAU, this is Jorge Clavo, and I'm going to talk to him about Venezuela and what's going on. Jorge, so we talked earlier, and I wanted to ask you, you just heard the statement from Congressman Deutsch. Do you think it's enough?
You know, I think it's definitely a great step. I mean, I'm in his congressional youth cabinet, and I called upon the congressman to at least have some sort of presence here, and he wanted to be here today, but sadly he wasn't able to, so he sent a representative with his statement. And I'm very happy with what it contained. I feel that it's definitely a start. His viewpoints I definitely agree with, but I feel that more must be done, if not by the American government, then by the OAS and the United Nations, in order to prevent the murder of students, which is going on right now, and the repression of basic freedoms, which are instituted by the basic tenets of democracy.
So what can we do? If you were talking to President Obama tomorrow, or Congressman Deutsch tomorrow, and you said, this is the concrete steps we want the U.S. government to take tomorrow, what would those concrete steps be?
I'd like them, you know, I'll just say the basic truth. The United States government hasn't been interested in the past 15 years in the limitations of freedom in Venezuela, because as long as they have the flow of oil that they want, they're not going to do anything about it. Now, I feel that it's the moment to finally act. I feel like it's the moment for the American government to do something about it, because people are getting killed out there. I mean, I fear for my family's lives every single day. Nobody should have to go through that.
Let's take a step back for a second. Tell me about your family.
Well,
your family in Venezuela, I mean.
Basically, everybody is there. Apart from my mother, my father, and my younger brother, everybody's there. And they fear for their lives every single day. They fear they're going to get shot, that they might get jumped, because Venezuela has the highest, among the highest murder rates in the whole world. I mean, 30,000 people were just killed in the year 2013, and for a country of 27 million people, that's ridiculous. So, I mean, I just fear for their lives every single day, and they do too. It's just not, nobody should have to go through that, and I'm really indignant.
Okay, so concrete steps. The United States has troops in Afghanistan now. We have theoretically, we don't call them troops, but we basically have troops in Iraq right now. We have troops all over the world right now. Do you want the United States government to send troops into Venezuela?
What I want first is for embargoes to be set. With embargoes, the president will relent. Well, if you can call him the president, because he's really just a dictator put in unjustly. He wasn't even born in Venezuela. He's from Colombia, actually, and it's proven by birth certificates. So, I mean, I just want the illegitimate government to be toppled. I mean, first, what I'd like the United States government to do is to set embargoes on my country. I mean, I know that sounds odd, but that way the government will stop doing what they're doing and stop persecuting their people, because all the money that they're getting is from oil trade with the United States. If that doesn't work, then I at least want some sort of warning from the United States about invading. And if they don't pay attention to that, which I think they will, then I think that would be a moment to invade, because it's ridiculous to see what's going on. I do think it's fair to invade, but eventually, I mean, the steps must be taken gradually. It can't be done from one day to the next. Steps must be taken in order to ensure that all possibilities are ruled out before an invasion on behalf of the United States.
Okay, so let me ask you this. There's a long history of U.S. involvement in Latin America. And there's a lot of people from Latin America who aren't very happy with the U.S. past history of involvement and even current involvement. You know, the United States drug war and how we spray, farms in Colombia.
Oh, I agree.
This stuff is going on now. Do you think there's you're maybe potentially going down a really bad road if you start getting the United States government more involved in the internal affairs of a Latin American country?
You know, what I feel is that the benefits will outweigh what...
The congressman is leaving, so, and you have to transfer.
Congressman's never here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.